Shana Tova, everybody.
Shana Tova.
Want to wish you a very happy 5778. Happy New Year. I want to thank you for allowing me to come to the upstairs service. It's the first time I've been here since 2011, and I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to begin by singing Hine Ma Tovu Menayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is, how wonderful it is that we can dwell together.
So please do sing along with us. This is an easy song. And any of the songs, please sing along with us. And also, please check your cell phones, make sure they're off so we don't have any unintended sounds. Here we go.
Neshamate, hallelujah. Every living soul will praise God. Every living soul will be thankful for all we have in this world. Psalm 150. feel like I want to applaud after that. Shana Tova, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the beginning of 5778. A new year, a good year, God willing, a year of health and peace. And a year of some feedback. There we go. I want to share a brief story with you as we begin our service about a king who had a precious diamond. He would take the diamond out each night and marvel at its beauty and its perfection. One night, as he was examining the diamond, he accidentally slipped and dropped it onto the floor. He picked it up, and to his horror, he saw this small crack that had developed at the base of its crown. Panicked, the king summoned all the craftsmen of the realm to plead with them to repair this diamond. They insisted it could not be done. Once the diamond is cracked, it is irreparable. Well, the king initiated a search throughout the entire kingdom for anyone who could fix the jewel. Eventually, a humble jeweler saw the notice and volunteered to help the king. He said, "I can fix it." The king said, "If you can fix this, I will give you unimaginable riches. But if you fail, you will be imprisoned for life for deceiving the king." High stakes here. The man went into isolation and under the king's guard began to work. First days passed, then weeks, and then even months. Finally he emerged. There was great fanfare in the city as the time came to unveil the diamond. With trembling hands the king took the wrapping off the diamond. Then to his shock he saw that the crack was still there, just as it was before. In his fury he called for the jeweler's head. But the jeweler calmly told the king to turn the diamond over. Turning it over, the king saw what he had not noticed before. At the very top of the diamond, the man had carved 5 beautiful and perfect petals, so that the crack was no longer a flaw, but the stem of a flower within the diamond. This made the jewel even more beautiful than it was before. So as we celebrate Rosh HaShanah this morning, we take into our accounts our actions from this past year. We know that perhaps not all our flaws can be made into flowers, but perhaps what we had once deemed as failures could be made something more beautiful, something more profound than they were earlier. Sometimes we just have to look at our lives in a different way. Sometimes we have to turn it over to see the new possibility, to gain a new perspective. And appreciating and learning from those many perspectives, that is one of our great tasks during this high holy day season. If you open up your Machzor, we're going to begin on page 165. We'll read these paragraphs responsively. This Rosh Hashanah, each of us enters the sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of gratitude and joy. They are overflowing with the happiness of love and the joy of life. They are eager to confront the day, to make the world more fair. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune, and we rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily upon them, and they have tasted despair. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken those whom they cherished. May our presence and our sympathy bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. They have sought answers in vain. Have their ideals mocked and betrayed. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we too are searching restore their hope that there is something. And some spirits hunger. They long for friendship, they crave understanding, they yearn for warmth. May we in our common need gain strength from one another, sharing our joys, lightening each other's burdens, and praying for the welfare of our community. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness and of the impulse within us for justice and mercy, we pray that this hour of worship may be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in search and in need, all who bring to this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here lead us to fulfill the words and our hopes with acts of kindness, of peace, and love. And we say together, Amen. Amen. We'll ask you to please rise on page 166 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadol v'yir Shirutei V'Hari Malchutei. Pa'al vid ramam v'yid nasei v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shamei rekodesham le'am yinkol b'shata v'shirata tosh b'chata v'nechamata tamira yamo v'imero.
May be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei hoshech osei shalom uvarei et hakol. On page 168, we praise you, eternal God, ruler of the universe, who makes light and creates darkness, who ordains peace and fashions all things. To you the stars of morning sing, from you their great radiance must spring. And steadfast in their vigils day and night, your angels floored with fervor ring your praise. They teach you, the holy ones, to bring into your house the breath of early life. With compassion you give light to all the earth, all who dwell there. With goodness you renew the work of creation, continually. How manifold are your works, O God, and wisdom you have made them all. The earth and its fullness is yours. Beyond our praise is the work of your hands. Beyond expression. Blessed is the eternal one. V'ha'ireinenu b'toratacha v'dabech libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levaveinu lahaval yira et shemecha. Enlighten us with your teaching, Help us to hold fast to your mitzvot. Unite our hearts to love and revere your name. Then shall we never be shamed, for we shall put our trust in you, the great, holy, and awesome one. We shall rejoice and be glad in your salvation, for you, our God, are the author of many deliverances. In love you have chosen us and drawn us near to serve you in faithfulness and to proclaim your unity. Blessed are you, O God, you have chosen your people Israel in love. We rise for Shema. Be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
In a moment, we're going to sing our Michamocha prayer that the Israelites sang as they crossed the sea and realized how thankful they were to go from slavery to freedom. While in many ways this has been a difficult year, as a community here at TBS, we have a lot for which we should be thankful. This year at TBS, we celebrated 12 weddings, 10 baby namings and brisses, maybe 11, I'm not sure. 10 or 11 baby namings and brisses. We had 20 consecration students begin their Jewish education here. 25 kids became B'nai Mitzvah on this bima. We had 52 high school students serve as madrichim and religious school aides. Many of them went to New York with us this past spring. That was terrifying. And most importantly, but most consistently, we have felt a real sense of community, a kehila kadosha, that we are one holy family, one holy community. So now I ask you to take a moment and think of one joyous event, one simcha that you experienced in this past year for which you are thankful, and just take a moment and share that with someone sitting around you. Even if you don't know them, it's a chance to meet somebody and share one piece of good news with them. these simchas are floating in the air around us. You can almost feel them floating around us here. So for all of these simchas, all of these wonderful deeds, let's join together in singing Mi Chamocha. Join in Sur Yisrael. You can find that on page 173.
Zur Yisrael, Kuma bezrut Yisrael, Uvidei numecha, Yehuda v'Yisrael, Golenu Adonai Tzivot Shemo Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Kol Yisrael.
When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw you hang my first painting on the refrigerator, and I immediately wanted to paint another one. When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw you feed a stray cat, and I learned it was good to be kind to animals. When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw you make my favorite cake, and I learned that little things can be special in life. When you thought I wasn't looking, I heard you say a prayer, and I knew there is a God that I could always talk to, and I learned to trust God. When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw you make a meal and take it to a sick friend, and I learned how important it is to care for others. When you thought I wasn't looking, I felt you kiss me goodnight, and I felt loved and safe. When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw tears come from your eyes, and I learned that sometimes it's all right to cry. When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw that you cared, and I wanted to be everything that I could be. When you thought I wasn't looking, I learned most of life's lessons that I need to know to be a good, kind, productive person when I grow up. And when you thought I wasn't looking, I looked at you and wanted to say, thanks for all the things I saw when you thought I wasn't looking. In a few moments, we'll recite our Amidah prayer that begins this section called Our Parents. This section of the service says, thank you, God, for all the wonderful things my parents did for me to help make me who I am today. This time of year, as we finally remember Rosh Hashanah dinners or other family gatherings, we acknowledge our parents and thank them for the beautiful gifts that they have given to us, many times when they thought we were not looking. You can find that Amidah beginning on page 173, and we'll ask you to please rise.
Adonai Safetai Tiftachu fi Hagita Hilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips and my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, אלוהי לעם, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקרני הכל, מזהר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זכרנו לחיים, מאפס מים, וחווינו לספר חיים, למען אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרא צרה.
Great is the eternal power at the heart of life, mighty the love that is stronger than death. Faithful love gives life to all, and acts of grace restore. Life's harsh winds uproot the weak, its hard rains beat down upon our kin. Let those who stand support the falling, keep faith of those who lie in the dust. To the sick we must bring healing, to those who are bound release. How good to redeem the ancient pledge, for joy to blossom in arid soil. We give thanks for the power to live and to act, for the blessing of love that is stronger than death. You may be seated. It was the first pulpit of Rabbi Cynthia Culpepper that she ever had. Montgomery, Alabama's Agudath Israel Synagogue, where she began her rabbinic service in the summer of 1995. Shortly before Rosh HaShanah, she was told that she was HIV positive, and in those days, the diagnosis of AIDS followed weeks after. She immediately informed the congregation. In January of 1994, she received an occupational exposure at a hospital where she had served as a nurse. Now, shortly after the High Holy Days, she was given what was then a death sentence. In her letter to the congregation, she wrote, "You can well imagine how intense these High Holy Day seasons were. This one was for me, as my first as a rabbi at that. Its unending primary liturgical message of how our lives are in the balance took on a whole new meaning for me." Rabbi Culpepper died in the summer of 2005. In so many ways, the Unatana Tokef prayer that we are about to recite still resonates with each of us as we stare fate in the eye and wonder what the future will bring for us. We know that fate alone does not determine what happens to us, that we are responsible for our actions and our attitudes. There's no clear answer in prayer, but only the hope that through teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah, through repentance and prayer and acts of kindness, we can make our lives meaningful, whether we have a year or 10 years or 80 years left on this earth. And that is the message of Unatana Tokef. Let us proclaim the sacred power of this day. It is awesome and full of dread. For on this day your minion is exalted, your throne established in steadfast love. There in truth you reign, in truth you are judge and arbiter, counsel and witness. You write and you seal, you record and you recount. You remember deeds long forgotten. You open the book of our days, and what is written there proclaims itself, for it bears the signature of every human being. The great shofar is sounded, the still small voice is heard. The angels, gripped by fear and trembling, declare in awe, this is the day of judgment. For heaven, as all who dwell on earth stand arrayed. As the shepherd seeks out the flock and makes the sheep pass under the staff, so do you muster and number and consider every soul, setting the bounds of every creature's life and decreeing its destiny.
Rosh HaShanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatemun. Rosh HaShanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatemun. Kama yavorun, v'chama yibareun, mi yichyeh Yamut, mi v'kitzo, umi lo v'kitzo. Rosh HaShanah yikatemu, Yom Tzom Kippur yikatemu. Rosh HaShanah yikatemu, Yom Tzom Kippur yikatemu. Mi v'mayim umi v'esh, mi v'cheref umi v'chaya, mi v'rav umi v'tzama, mi v'ra'ash umi v'magefa. Rosh HaShanah yikatemu, Yom Tzom Kippur yikatemu. Rosh HaShanah yikatemu, Yom Tzom Kippur yikatemu. Mi v'chanukah umi v'skila, mi yanuach umi yanuach, mi yashkit umi yatorach, mi yishalev umi yityaser. Rosh HaShanah yikatemu, Yom Tzom Kippur yikatemu. Rosh HaShanah yikatemu, Yom Tzom Kippur yikatemu. Mi ya'ani umi ya'ashir, mi
On Rosh HaShanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed. How many shall pass on, and how many shall come to be? Who shall live and who shall die? Who shall see ripe age and who shall not? Who shall perish by fire and who by water? Who by sword and who by beast? Who by hunger and who by thirst? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who shall be secure and who shall be driven? Who shall be tranquil and who shall be troubled? Who shall be poor and who shall be rich? Who shall be humble and lifted? Utshuva tefillah tzedakah me'avirim et roa gzera. But repentance, prayer, and charity temper judgment's severe decree.
U'teshuva, u'tefillah, u'tzedakah, ma'avirin et roa gzera. U'teshuva, u'tefillah, u'tzedakah, ma'avirin et roa gzera.
This is your glory. You are slow to anger, ready to forgive. It is not the death of sinners you seek, but that they should turn from their ways and live. Until the last day you wait for them, welcoming them as soon as they turn to you. You have created us and know what we are. We are but flesh and blood. We ask you to please rise for the Kiddushah. You can find that on page 179.
Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam b'shem shemakdashim oto b'shmei maron kakatuv ayad niviacha v'karazeza ve'emar. Hatir hatireinu Adonai Adoneinu ma'atir shimcha v'charetz. Echad hu Eloheinu hu Avinu hu Malkeinu hu Moshiachenu v'hu Yatzmienu v'rachema v'hinei kol ani Adonai Elohechem.
I'll ask you to please be seated. Ul
Avinu lo yamush yavad Ki hai malach gadol Ki hai malach gadol V'kadosh
Page 181, we read responsively at the bottom of the page. We stand in awe of all created things, the power within them that gives them form, the ancient law that rules them all, fish of the sea, birds of the air, the quiet stone and the beating wave, all woven from a single loom. We stand in awe of all created things. We stand in courage. Honor to those who endure, the seeker, the giver, the one who loves. All who sing and all who weep, the one who makes his loss gain, the one who gives his heart to life. Honor to those who endure, and honor to all who are just. To be just, upright, and faithful, let this and this alone give joy. To reach as high as one may dare, to do no hurt, to kill no hope, let this and this alone give joy. And when will arrogance and wickedness cease? And when will tyrants be no more? On that day rejoice. The faithful will rejoice, and all who breathe will be glad. For the goodness shall reign forever and ever. Justice shall be exalted. Righteousness will sway. As it is written, Vayikba Adonai Tzvaot b'mishpat v'ha'el hakadosh nikdash b'tzedakah. The God of all being is exalted by justice. The holy God is sanctified by righteousness. Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha ve'ein Elohami ba'aldecha. We stand in awe of all created things, of all that is holy, of what we cannot name. Baruch ata Adonai hamelech hakadosh. Blessed is the power of holiness that leads us to the world, the rule of goodness. On page 184, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu. Ya'aleh v'yavo v'zachor zichronenu v'zicharon kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha l'tova l'chein l'chesed u'l'rachamim l'chaim u'shalom b'yom hazikaron hazeh zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova Amen u'fokdenu vo livracha Amen v'hoshienu vo l'chaim. As in the heart of the matter a flame of flares unseen to bring us warmth, so in the human heart a spark of goodness glows, a potential of renewal, of life, and of peace. This day may we grow in self-knowledge. This day may we reach out to a full life. Amen.
Dimana praises. Modim anachnu lach, compassionate one, merciful Lord, forever and ever. Modim anachnu lach, forever. Morning, noon, and night, modim anachnu lach. Our lives are in your hands. Our souls are in your keeping. Your miracles surround us day by day. Our lives are in your hands. Our souls are in your keeping. Your never-ending love has always, never-ending love has been our home. We will never stop praising your name. We will never stop praising your name. Praising your name.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Barchinu b'bracha ha'meshuleshet ha'ketuva b'Torah, Yivarechecha Adonai v'Yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Peace, happiness, and blessing. Grant love and mercy. May all of these descend on us, on all Israel and all the world. May all who breathe affirm the law of life, to love kindness and mercy, to seek blessing, life, and peace. A divine light will shine upon us, one and all, as we struggle to bless the world with righteousness and peace. Blessed is the power that makes for peace, and praise be those who labor to bring it into the world.
Sim shalom, tova tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova tova uvracha. Reva chesed v'rachamim aleinu. Israel,
many meanings in Hebrew. We think of it often as hello, goodbye, and peace. But really, it means wholeness. The idea of shalem is to be complete, to be a whole circle. So as we turn to the silent prayer in just a moment, perhaps we can contemplate on how we ourselves can be more whole in the coming year and how we can help make the world a little bit more whole. How we can add our little piece to the pie so that we can have wholeness not just in this community, but throughout the world. So we take just a few moments for some silent prayer.
Oseh shalom bimrahav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Shalom Bimrahav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru amen. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Oseh shalom bimrahav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen.
Well, Shana Tova, everyone. I'd like to tell you a story that takes place way back in the middle of August of this year, about a month ago. As Lauren and I sat in the waiting room for her OBGYN, we were excited and nervous. We had known for a while that Lauren was pregnant. At the time, that was all that we knew. The ultrasound tech named Gwenna called us back to her room. She dimmed the lights and turned on a big screen TV so we could see what was happening. There wasn't much that I understood from the screen. Lauren probably did, but she wasn't sharing anything with me. And we waited patiently for information. The tech looked at us smiling and said, "Is this your first ultrasound during this pregnancy?" "Yes," we both said. I kind of looked quizzically at Lauren. Gwenna looked at the screen again. She said, "So, do you have twins in either of your family?" She asked that smiling, and my immediate reaction was, "What?" And then some words I can't say on the bima. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. "No, there are no twins in our families," we said. Lauren and I immediately freaked out as Gwenna went on to show us that there were 2 healthy little heartbeats. "Well, now you do," she said. "Now you have some twins in your family." As she explained the different types of twins and the safest way to have them and all this kind of stuff, I wasn't really listening. I was in a little bit of a fog. The word twins just kept playing over and over and over again in my mind. I looked over at Lauren and noticed that we both had tears in our eyes, but we couldn't tell if they were tears of joy or sheer terror. We didn't know. Just then, the nurse for Lauren's doctor came into the room. She had gotten word to give us hugs and high fives, and then the doctor came in. It was a real big party for everybody else. By the time we left the ultrasound room, the entire office knew that we were pregnant with twins, and it was like a ticker tape parade in that place, while I was basically a zombie walking through the building. We got into the car, and I said to Lauren, "What just happened in there?" We will, God willing, she said, have 2 babies in March. And I wanted to know if I was awake, and she said, I hope so, because you're driving. A few days later, the pregnancy was going very well, but in a sad turn for our world, it felt like perhaps the world around us was starting to crumble. That was the weekend of the Unite the Right March in Charlottesville, the weekend that changed so much for so many of us. As the days passed, we read reports and saw videos that shocked us. Neo-Nazis and white supremacists marching, carrying torches, well, tiki torches, and chanting, "Jews will not replace us." A local church was having a gathering of many people on Friday night, and outside their doors they heard men chanting an old Nazi phrase, "Blood and soil, blood and soil." We heard from the president of Congregation Beth Israel, a Reformed temple near downtown, that congregants had to quietly exit the building using the rear exit on Saturday morning as they feared for their safety. And the leadership removed the Torah scrolls from their building as they were worried about arson overnight. This is 2017 we're talking about. Just like that, hate was unmasked. Racist, anti-Semitic, disgusting rhetoric that many of us forgot existed, or at least we tried to forget existed, came screaming to the forefront of our consciousness. All of a sudden, I felt a little uneasy about wearing my kippah in public, my yarmulke. We hired extra security here at the temple. We met with community members. One evening, about a week later, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone who is a rabbi on the West Coast. She asked me, "Is it scary for you guys to be bringing 2 new lives into this broken world?" I thought about it for a little while. I didn't answer very well, but what I wish I would have said is that, yes, it is definitely scary, but it's also hopeful. These 2 precious little munchkins will come into a world that feels so broken in so many ways, but perhaps they are also our hope for fixing it. Hope. It is what has sustained our people for millennia throughout our dark history as Jews. It seems to be in our DNA. Rabbi Leora Frankel teaches that another rabbi named Jonathan Sachs goes even further, asserting that, in a sense, Jews invented hope. For the ancient Greeks, everything was fate, future predetermined by the past. But Jews believe in freedom, rejecting determinism in favor of human agency. Rabbi Sachs powerfully puts it, the Greeks gave the world the concept of tragedy. Jews gave the world the idea of hope. To be a Jew, he teaches, is to be an agent of hope in a world that is serially threatened by despair. Every ritual, every mitzvah, every syllable of the Jewish story, every element of Jewish law is a protest against escapism, of resignation, or the blind acceptance of fate. There's a powerful story that a British rabbi told about his time as a boy in Auschwitz. One winter evening in the barrack, this rabbi named Grin, who was just a child at the time, had a father with him, and his father drew him into a quiet corner, explaining that it was the first night of Hanukkah. He watched in amazement as his father plucked a few threads from his prison uniform and made a wick out of it and lit them in the day's now melted butter ration. The boy became very angry. How could they waste this precious food for a makeshift menorah? His father replied, "My dear son, you and I have seen that it's possible to live for a very long time without food. But Hugo, a person cannot live even a day without hope." So how can we do this? How can we begin to build hope for ourselves when we're living in such a broken world? How can we find hope when we ourselves may feel so broken? How can we move ourselves to a place where we can begin the process? First, our tradition teaches that a change in perspective, a simple shift in our worldview, can enable us to begin to build hope. One of my very favorite stories in the Torah is from the book of Numbers. The Israelites have been wandering in the wilderness for almost 40 years. They are complaining and complaining and complaining, as you can imagine. Moses wants a better lay of the land, so he gathers 12 people, 12 spies, to go and scout out the land of Israel. They're almost there, but before they just go charging in, he wanted to check it out. Very mission impossible of him. So the 12 spies sneak into the land of Israel and they scout it out. 10 of the spies come back with a negative report. They say, yes, it's true that it's a land flowing with milk and honey. Its fields are so plentiful that it took 2 of us to bear one giant cluster of grapes. But it is also swarming with giants, they said, and the cities are very fortified. We could never defeat them. Moses, they say, this is a no-go. Let's just camp out in the wilderness for a while longer. 2 of the spies, though, Joshua and Caleb, are hopeful and optimistic about their chances in the land of Israel. They say, let us by all means go up. We shall gain possession of the land of Israel. We can do it, for we shall surely overcome it. We can do this. We have the power to make this change. They say, Ki yachol nuchal la. We can surely do this. All 12 spies were seeing the same information. They all had the same data. They just processed it differently, and they had these different perspectives. Arguably the most famous author on this subject is a professor named Tal Ben-Shahar, who is an Israeli-born psychologist based in Harvard. In his book that was called Choose the Life You Want, he discusses a time when he was feeling totally burned out himself. He had been on a speaking tour for months and months, and he sat down in his hotel room the night before a 3-day seminar, and he thought to himself, I cannot imagine how I'm going to get through these next few days. He was tired and felt trapped, that he had no choice in the matter. Then, as he was falling asleep, it finally occurred to him that, no, it's not true I just have to suffer through the next days. I have a choice. He writes in his book, the moment that I realized that to a great extent, how I would experience the next 3 days were up to me, everything changed. I could choose the path of simply suffering, or I could choose an alternate path. One where I would draw energy from enthusiastic participants, engaging in material that I believe in passionately, and reconnecting to my personal mission. Once I made a choice, I changed my focus. And by changing my focus, I changed my feelings, he writes. A few moments earlier I had felt trapped, but now I actually was excited about the next few days. He says he went on to deliver one of the most passionate performances of his life. Later he reflected, as soon as I realized what my options were, I made my decision in a split second. But getting to the point where I realized I had options was significantly more difficult. In other words, the choice was made possible and obvious only as soon as I became mindful of the fact that I actually had a choice. We are used to thinking of making the decisions as the difficult part. But the truth is that often the more difficult thing is realizing that there is a decision to be made, that we have a choice. In fact, every moment of our lives, we have a choice. Each small decision we make adds to the cumulative effect of how we live our lives. We've all been there. We know that if we're in a bad mood, that we could sulk and milk that, and then perhaps the entire day is bad. Someone who decides to focus on the positive can create, however, a positive chain reaction throughout her day. That triggers other positive experiences at work and at home. Ben-Shahar says that daily rituals to practice positivity can become our default mode of thinking. There's an interesting story about a psychology professor who held up a glass half full of water in front of her class. How heavy is this glass of water I'm holding, she asked them. Students shouted out answers everywhere ranging from 8 ounces to a couple of pounds. She replied, from my perspective, the absolute weight of this glass doesn't matter. It all depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold the glass for a minute or two, sure, it's fairly light. If I hold it for an hour or two straight, the weight might make my arm ache a little. And if I hold it for a day straight, my arm will likely cramp up and feel completely numb and paralyzed, forcing me to drop the glass on the floor. The weight of the glass doesn't change in any of these cases, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it feels. In other words, the more time we spend idly concerned about the problems in our world and ourselves without doing anything about them, the heavier those problems become. But if we can put the glass down, focus on the positive aspects of our life, perhaps we can begin to reach towards hope. Along with a change of perspective, perhaps in the new year, we can spend less time focusing on what's wrong with our world and spend more time fixing it, more time focusing on something that's bigger than ourselves. I still remember one of the first pastoral counseling conversations I had ever conducted way back when I was a rabbinic intern at Temple Sholem in Cincinnati. My senior rabbi was away, and a congregant who I knew pretty well wanted to come in and chat. Of course, I was terrified. It wasn't until he started talking that I realized that we were even having a pastoral kind of conversation. I remember quickly trying to mentally review my notes from pastoral education classes, trying to figure out how I could respond. The man was a recently retired general practitioner physician who, up until a few months ago, was not only in practice, but he had owned the practice that had grown considerably over the years. He was used to both practicing medicine and also being the person in charge of the company before retiring. I remember him saying that he was responsible for a staff of 60 people made up of doctors and nurses and administrators. And then he said he woke up one day and he had nothing to do. The phone didn't ring. His email slowed. Incidentally, I remember thinking to myself at the time, what could I, a 26-year-old rabbinical student, possibly offer to this accomplished man? Not a whole lot. But I learned quickly that he was really just looking for a listening ear, someone who cared. So I listened and tried to be supportive. And little did I know, the most helpful thing that I said came out unintentionally as we were walking out of my office. I mentioned to him, I said, if you're looking for something to do, we could always use a hand with our youth group program this Sunday at the Ronald McDonald House. Half jokingly, I said that because, what does a retiree want to do with a bunch of kids? The youth group often made Sunday dinners at the Ronald McDonald House in Cincinnati. To my surprise, he told me he would be there. And on that Sunday evening, this guy was amazing. I could easily see how he was successful in commanding a business and running an office. Not to mention he made my job as the only other adult there so much easier, as I can barely make mac and cheese out of a box for my kids. But that small youth group program gave him the simple reminder that he could make a difference. And he told me later that that was what was so important for him, that he could contribute something, that he could offer something. That gave him a little bit of hope. No, that man did not go on to become a professional volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House or anything like that, but he did keep up his medical license, and he started volunteering later that year at a free clinic in Cincinnati. And as far as I know, he's still doing that today. It's so simple, yet something many of us forget in the chaos of our day-to-day lives. What can imbue our lives with meaning and help us find hope? Reach out a hand to somebody else. Find someone that you can guide to a better place. Find an organization that shares your values and get yourself out there and get to work. One small issue to work on. That's how it begins. It can be so empowering. We don't have to be perfect people to solve all the world's issues to get out there and make a difference and to do something. All we have to do is start. We know that there is a brokenness in many of us. We've all made mistakes. We've all transgressed. We've all missed the mark. We're painfully aware of that as we start reflecting on our deeds of this past year during this service. But perhaps our brokenness could inspire us to help others rather than hold them back. The wise sages, one of the wise sages of our time, Leonard Cohen, who I think is also Nick's personal role model, your muse, said in a deep, deep voice, he once sang, ring the bells that can still ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. There's a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. And perhaps those cracks can let our light out into the world as well. When we reach out to someone in need, when we serve food at the YWCA, when we listen to a friend in crisis, when we take care of an aging parent, when we teach a child, when we fight for causes in which we believe, we are linking our daily existence to helping someone else, something bigger than ourselves. And through these acts, we can begin to build hope. we can begin to let a little bit of light in through those cracks, and God willing, let a lot of light out through those cracks as well. There's no better example of moving our perspective from brokenness to hope than looking at our country over this past month. We were shaken to our core by the white supremacists in Charlottesville. Our hearts were broken. But at the same time, if we look just past the hate, just past the terror, we see a glimmer of hope. Among the peaceful protesters, there were more than 100 clergy members from the area, representing various faith denominations, gathered on Saturday morning to demonstrate God's love of diversity and tolerance. As many of us watched the events unfold that weekend, a few camera crews caught the video of these clergy people standing together, arms linked, Jews and Christians and Muslims and even more diverse folks, marching straight into the heart of the demonstration, marching right into where the violence was. One of them was a friend of Rabbi Lynette's and mine named Rabbi Rachel Schmelkin. Rachel and her group stood up bravely and showed Charlottesville and showed the world that hate will not go unchecked in our communities. They gave us a beautiful gift of hope after so much darkness. Following the devastation in Florida and Texas and just recently in Puerto Rico, we have also been inspired with hopeful stories of heroism both in both storms and all the storms' aftermath. When a Houston woman went into labor shortly after the storm, she and her husband discovered that they were trapped in their apartment as the floodwaters rose outside. So their neighbors stepped up to help. Greg and Andrea Smith were anticipating the birth of their first child. We had 2 miscarriages before this, Greg said, and we've always wanted a little baby. We're very new to Houston and very new to hurricanes, Greg said, adding that they had a backup plan to go early to the hospital the next morning in case Andrea went into labor. On Saturday evening, the couple decided that they would drive to the hospital the next morning in anticipation of the birth. I expected, he said, that there would be 5 or 6 inches that I could drive through of water. I woke up to 3 or 4 feet. Greg said, we soon realized that we were kind of stuck. On Sunday, the couple, along with Greg's mother, found that Andrea was indeed in labor. He and his mother began calling 911, but they couldn't get through. They couldn't get through to the Coast Guard either. They finally reached the National Guard, but were told that help would not arrive soon enough. So they realized they were going to have to deliver this baby at home. While the couple prepared for that reality, one of their neighbors sent out a plea for help on a community message board. They were in an apartment complex that was located just a couple of miles from the Texas Medical Center. So within an hour or so, doctors and nurses and EMTs who had trudged through those 3 or 4 feet of water arrived at their apartment, and they were soaking wet but there to help. But the floodwaters continued to rise, so another neighbor offered them use of their second-floor apartment as they were on the first. While the couple prepared to move upstairs, another neighbor called his father, who lives across the street, from a fire station. He waded through the floodwaters to tell the firefighters about Andrea's situation. Soon, a huge dump truck, like monster truck size, arrived outside their building, and Greg ran outside to flag down the truck. The firefighters inside said, "We are here to help you." Neighbors then formed a human chain, I think 25 of the neighbors, to get from the apartment complex to the road, formed a human chain through waist-high water to get them into the truck. We were soaked, Greg said, as we sat on top of fire hoses while the firemen drove us to the hospital. They were very careful to go slow and safe, but we made it in time. Their baby, Adria, was born shortly after they arrived at the hospital. She was healthy but needed to be treated in the NICU, in the neonatal intensive care unit. If she were born at home, that would not have been the best place for her, he said. I'm so glad she's in the hospital. That's why we named her Adrielle, he said. It means she belongs to God. So how do we sustain hope in our broken world? How can Lauren and I bring 2 beautiful new babies into this world with so many problems? We have to make a choice. Will we see only the hateful white supremacists, or will we see the thousands of people who gather to banish hate? Will we see only the natural disasters that befall us, or will we see the heroes stepping in to help complete strangers because it's the right thing to do? And when we look at ourselves, will we only see our own brokenness? Or will we finally have the ability to see that we can make some change? We can do some good in this world. We can change our stories. We can find hope and light within darkness. May we find that light. May we find that hope. In Torah portion Nitzavim, a high holiday Torah portion, it says, "Hachayim v'hamavet natati lefanecha, habracha v'haklala, uvacharta b'chayim, leman tihiyeh ata v'zarecha." I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life, choose blessing, therefore that you and your descendants may live. May we, in our new year, choose life, choose light, and may we choose hope in 5778. Our service continues with Avinu Malkeinu. You can find on page 121. We'll ask everyone to please rise. Let's read this responsively. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, Va'al Aleinu, V'tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Dever, V'herev, V'ra'av, Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, begin to sickness, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu kalei kol tzaru mastin me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu begin to all resurrection. Avinu Malkeinu kodvenu b'sefer chayim tovim. Avinu Malkeinu inscribe us for blessing in the book of life. Avinu Malkeinu chadesh aleinu shana tova. Avinu Malkeinu let the new year be a good year for us. Avinu Malkeinu malei yadeinu b'birchotecha. Avinu Malkeinu fill our hands with blessing. Avinu Malkeinu Chonenu vanenu, ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help. Rachum v'chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, atzer chesed l'alafim, nosei avon v'fesha v'chatat v'nakeh. The Eternal One, the Eternal God, is merciful and gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, showing mercy to the thousands, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin, and granting pardon. Beit Yaakov lechu v'nelcha be'or Adonai. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk by the light of our God.
Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh V'nora Shemo. Lecha Adonai HaGedula v'haTifera v'haTiferet v'haGetzak v'hahol ki ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz ki ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz Lecha Adonai amad lecha v'amin na'aseh lemcho levosh.
If the music stops, that means you may be seated. Yes, right there. We are going to read our Torah this morning in 3 sections. For our first Torah reader, we are calling music superstar Aaron Abramowitz. If you haven't seen him on Facebook yet, you will be, yes. Not only can he chant Torah, but he can also play piano and sing like you couldn't imagine. So there is this. Let me show you your spot. Shame. I have no shame. So your spot is right there. Right, and what we're going to do is for the first Aliyah, if you have done some kind of volunteer work this year, if you've done anything where you volunteered your time, we're going to ask you to be in the first group of Aliyah folks. So at the count of 3, or in a moment, we'll call you Yamod, Aliyah, Yamod, volunteers. You can rise at your spot. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayehi Achar Hadivarim Ha'ele Ha'Elohim Nisa Es Abraham Vayomer Elav Avraham Vayomer Hineni Vayomer Kach na et bincha et yechidcha asher ahavta et Yitzchak v'lech lecha el eretz haMoriah ha'elihu sham le'olah et bechad heharim asher omar elecha v'yishkam Avraham baboker Vayachavo shechamaro, vayikach et shnei na'arav ito, v'yitzchet Yitzchak bino, vayivaka atzeolav, vayokam vayelech al makom asher amar lo ha'Elohim. Vayom hashlishi, vayisa Avraham et einav, vayarat al makom merachok. Vayomer Avraham el na'arav, Shulechem poim hachamor, ve'ani hana'ar ne'elcha ad ko, ve'nishtachave ve'shnashuva alechem.
Beautiful. Let's do the blessing afterward. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai. Come on, volunteers. Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten HaTorah. Amen. You may be seated. Okay, for this next Aliyah, let's call people who have been members of TBS long enough that you prayed in the Eastminster Church on East Broad Street. So if you were ever at Eastminster, and maybe as a Christian also, that's cool, we'll ask everyone who was here with us for that number of years to please rise. And 1, 2, 3. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah. Amen.
Amen. וישן יצחק בנו ויקח בידו את האש ואת המאכלת וילכו שניהם יחדיו ויאמר יצחק אל אברהם אבי ויאמר אבי ויאמר הנני בני ויאמר הנה והאש והעצים ואיה הסר לעולה Vayomer Avraham Elohim Yireh lo haseh Leola beni Vayelchu shnehem yachdav Vayavo el hamakom Asher amar lo ha'Elohim Vayiven sham Avraham et hamizbeach Vayarech et ha'etzim Vayakod et hatzchak beno Vayisem ito hamizbeach Mima'al ha'etzim Vayishlach Avraham et yado Vayikach et ma'achelet Lishchot et beno.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech. Leave the yap right there. Asher. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen. I'll have you guys switch places. Thank you. Yasher Koach, Aaron, so beautiful. And we have veteran TBS Torah reader Joel Kent back in the box here. For this final aliyah, anybody who would like to have the mitzvah of having an aliyah, anybody who wants to check off that box on Rosh HaShanah, we'll ask you to please rise. Anybody else? How about anyone who hasn't stood up at all yet? Stand on up. There you go. Or if you already did, that's cool too. The more mitzvahs, the better. No, you're starting at Vayikach, right? Let's see here. No. Vayikach here. Here's where he's just at Beno, right there. Vayikra alav, Val malach Adonai min hashamayim. Oh, I see. You're further down here. Vayikra. No, that's Vayar. Here it is, right there. Vayikra Malach Adonai. Yes. Okay. All right. And it's 5779. Welcome. Okay. Here we go. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Vayikra Malach Adonai El Avraham Shenit Min Hashamayim Vayomer Binishmati Neum Adonai Ki Yan Asher Asita Et Hadavar Hazeh V'lo Chasachta Et Bincha Et Yehidecha Ki Varech Averechecha V'harba Arbe Et Zaracha Kochachve Et Hashemayim V'chachol Asher al Sfat Hayam Vayirash Zaracha Et Sha'ar Oivav V'hit Baruchu V'Zaracha Kol Goyei Haaretz Ekev Asher Shamata Bekoli Vayashav Avraham El Ne'arav Vayakumu Vayelhu Yachtav El Be'er Shava Vayeshev Avraham Biver Shava.
Beautiful. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam ata betochenu baruch, don't go anywhere yet, ata Adonai notein haTorah. Amen. It is a double mitzvah to not only have an aliyah, but to read Torah on Rosh Hashanah. So thank you. So beautiful. We'll ask everyone to please rise as we lift and dress the Torah. Yeah, it's toughy.
We'll see.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael api Adonai biad Moshe. Lai 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 lai. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la.
You may be seated. And for the chanting of a portion of the Haftarah, we are pleased to invite Connie.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bachar b'milim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem enamarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'Torah u'b'Moshe avdo u'b'Yisrael amo u'v'nvei ha'emet v'tzedek. V'takam Chana acharei achla v'shilo v'acharei shato ve'eli hakohen yoshev al hakisei al mezuzat hechal Adonai v'hi morat nafesh v'titpalel al Adonai uv'achot tivkeh v'tidor neder v'tomar Adonai tzivot imra'ot tireh ba'ani amatecha u'zachartani v'lo tishkach et amatecha v'natata la'amatcha zera anashim v'natativ l'Adonai kol yimei chayav u'mora lo ya'aleh rosho. V'haya ki hirbeta lehitpalel lifnei Adonai ve'eli shomer et piha v'chana hi midaberet al liba rak sefateha naot ve'kola lo yishamea v'yachshavea eli lishkora v'yomer eleha eli Ad matai tishtakarin hasiri et yenech melayich vatan chana vatomar lo adoni isha kashat ruach anochi v'yayin v'shechar lo shatiti v'eshpoch et nafshi livnei Adonai al titein et amatcha livnei bat lial Ki merov sichi v'chasi dibarti ad heina vayane li vayomer lechi l'shalom v'Elohei Yisrael yitein et shelatech asher shalt meimo v'tomer timsa shivchatcha chen beinecha ותלך האישה לדרכה ותאכל, ופניה לא היו לעוד. וישכימו בבוקר, וישתחוו לפני אדוני, וישובו, ויבואו ביתם הרמתה, וידע אלקנה את חנה אשתו, ויזכרה אדוני. ויהי לתקופות הימים, ותר חנה ותלד בן, ותקרא את שמו שמואל, כי מאדוני שלטיב. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות. האל הנאמן האומר ויעשה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום הזיכרון הזה, שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ביום הזיכרון.
Amen. You're going to ask everyone to please rise and turn to page, whatever page you'd like. We're going to return the Torah to the Ark. Let's say page 100, and we're going off script here. We're just going to sing together in just a moment, Eitz Chaim Hi. Hoda.
הודו הארץ ושמיים, בהרם כרם כהנו, להילה לכו הסידוב, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, הללויה. Eitz Chaim Hi למחזיקים בה, ותומכך מאושר דרכך, דרכם וכל נתינותיך שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש חדש עלינו, חדש עלינו
You may be seated. We are going to call for a brief welcome. Our co-presidents, Pam Shear and David Neubauer.
Hag HaSameach and Lashana Tova. Happy holidays and a good new year. On behalf of your Temple's Board of Trustees, we would like to wish you, your families, and your communities a most healthy, happy, and secure 5778. More than a year ago, you bestowed the privilege upon the two of us to guide the Temple's lay governance over one of our congregation's most significant bienniums. Thanks to our immediate past president, Steve Herman, and Evan Dubrow, the groundwork for Beth Shalom's senior rabbinic succession was laid, and our vacant executive director position was presciently filled by Bonnie Abramowitz.
During the last 15 months, as a result of the strenuous efforts of Rabbi Benji and our Rabbinic Search Committee, co-chaired by Steve and Bethany Klin, our congregation was fortunate to lure Rabbi Lynette Herzog from Arizona and California to be our assistant rabbi. Bonnie Abramowitz, Marcy Golden, and our trustees, Jonathan Woolman and Don Feibel, among others, were able to secure an almost $100,000 grant from the state of Ohio to strengthen security at our building for the benefit of our staff, ourselves, and our guests in the near future. We have also signed a lease option with Verizon relating to the construction of a cell phone tower, which will be located near the outside chapel. Now, I have two things to tell you. I'm going a little bit off message here. First of all, once the construction is completed and placed in service, you'll find both before and after any service that you attend at Temple Beth Shalom, you will enjoy much greater and better connectivity. And especially our executive director will appreciate that. She can't even make calls from her office. Secondly, the ground equipment is going to be surrounded by a very attractive fence. And let me assure you that Verizon will pay for it. Now, this contract could generate funds for our congregation for as many as 30 years into our future. And even before we moved into our new home here more than 20 years ago, Temple Beth Shalom had the pleasure of mortgage payments. Thanks to the hard work of Steve and former Vice President of Finance, Mike Rothstein, we are happy to inform you that our mortgage will be paid in full by close of business tomorrow. But there's always a but. We still need all outstanding building fund and campaign to secure our future pledges to be paid in full. These payments, along with your future generosity, will allow our temple to strengthen its programming and endowment and better maintain our building.
Now, you may have noticed how many times we have used the words "our congregation" this morning. We truly believe that one characteristic that distinguishes Temple Beth Shalom from other congregations is that instead of belonging to the temple belongs to each one of us. No matter how long we have been members, how much we may have contributed in sweat or treasure, how young or how old we might be, we all have an equal claim to the institution. And since we like to think of Temple Beth Shalom as one of our family, like a spouse, a child, a parent, or a sibling, I'd like to extend an invitation to you to meet some of our relatives. From December 8th through 10th, my husband Ira and I will be attending the Union for Reform Judaism's biennial conference in Boston. This event presents an opportunity to meet and engage with 5,000 of our Jewish Reform brothers and sisters from around the country. Our temple has a scholarship fund to support a limited number of our members to attend such programs. Since the discounted registration deadline is less than 2 weeks away, please see me after the service or over at the Kiddush if you might be interested in joining us at a very low cost.
Although we may have paid off our house in the near future and caught up on some deferred maintenance, there are future challenges that await us. As you probably witnessed this morning, we need to do major work to our driveway and parking lot. Our HVAC system, which is keeping us cool this morning, is more than 20 years old. We need to start boosting our college savings fund, that is, our small endowment, in order to assure the long-term well-being of our congregation. We envisage a relevant and thriving Beth Shalom 30 to 50 years from now. With your support, we are sure that our mutual family member will be able to do for us in the future as much as we have been able to do for our temple. We anticipate that at the congregation's annual meeting in May, co-presidents-elect Dave Siegel and Bonnie Cram will be elected as co-presidents of our congregation, and that on September 9th, 2018, 5779, they will address us from this bema. We sincerely hope that each of you who are here this morning will be in attendance then, and that you will assist them and our temple as much or more than you have in the past. Once again, we wish you a happy autumnal equinox, Hag HaSameach, and a wonderful 5778 for all of us. L'Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
And Roger Friedman has offered to take any money you want to donate to the temple to Vegas and double or triple it. That'll be great. The last piece of business we have this morning is perhaps the most exciting of the High Holy Days, and that is our shofar service. You can find that beginning on page 208. And why don't we have our shofar blowers approach the bima at this time, please. Okay, we got Larry at least. Let's see. There's Jan. And Carol may not be able to make it. Beautiful. Page 208. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, there should be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration proclaimed by the sound of the shofar. Hear now the shofar, acclaim the world's creation. And now recall Isaac's awesome trial. Hear now the shofar, you who stand at Sinai.
And now proclaim the rule of Israel's God.
Hear now the call and turn in true repentance.
Now affirm the triumph of good.
We are made in the divine image.
We are the house of Israel, a kingdom of priests, a holy people.
Know then the sound. Discover its meaning. We'll ask you to rise for Aleinu on the bottom of page 209.
Aleinu l'shabehach la'adon hakol, la'tev g'dula li'otzer b'reshit, shahonat tzemaim v'yotzad eretz, mo'va'yaro b'shamayim elo, u'shkinat zotei me'rohim, hu Eloheinu ein od, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, b'fnei Melech, Malachei Halakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On page 211, we are going to ask Nick and folks to recite the shofar blessings for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Come stand right in the middle here. Right over there, all right. Blessed is the eternal God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and calls us to hear the sound of the shofar. Blessed is the eternal God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and enabling us to reach this most wonderful season. Tikiyah, Shivarim Teruah, Tikiyah, Tikiyah, Shivarim, Tikiyah, Tikiyah, Teruah, Tikiyah.
Hayom harat olam, Hayom harat olam.
Let's read on page 213, page 213 under those two diamonds. Your love is everlasting to those who revere you. Your righteousness continues to children's children, to those who keep your covenant, who remember your commandments and do them. Never will I forget your precepts, for by them you have been given new life. I remember your kindness, your great goodness to the house of Israel.
You remember your covenant, the pledge you gave for 1,000 generations.
The eternal God is a God of compassion who will not forget the sworn covenant your fathers and mothers made.
I remember your ordinances from of old, God, and I am comforted.
I will meditate on your precepts and keep your ways before my eyes.
I will find joy in your statutes. I will not forget your word.
Justice, justice shall you follow, that you may live.
Let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream.
Baruch atah Adonai zocher habrit. Praise be the eternal God who remembers the covenant. Tikiyah. Shivarim Teruah. Tikiyah. Tikiyah. Shivarim. Tikiyah. Tikiyah. Teruah. Tikiyah. May be seated.
Hayom harat olam. Hayom harat olam. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La la la. Hayom harat olam. Hayom harat olam.
And as we hear the final blast of the shofar, we return once again to hope. In the first and second shofar preludes, we experience the ram's horn through the lenses of sovereignty and remembrance. We call this final set of shofar blasts the voices of hope. For the climactic Tikiyah Gedolah is a crescendo of our most profound hopes as a people, our deepest personal hopes on the threshold of a new year. And when we hear that sound, we feel the call. We feel called today to bring people together, to break the bread, to tell the story. We feel called today to give our gift, to listen to the heartbeat of a broken world and heal the fragmentation of our people and our planet. We feel called today to participate in the work of our time, to find love, to feel at home. We feel called today to compose a new, hopeful paragraph in the story of our lives, in 5778. We rise one more time for the shofar calls. Tikiyah, Shivarim Teruah, Tikiyah, Tikiyah, Shivarim, Tikiyah, Tikiyah, Teruah. And let's do this one together. Tikiyah Gedolah. Yay, Mazel Tov. Beautiful. Yasher Koach, guys. Beautifully done. Thank you, thank you. We are turning in just a moment. You can go back to your seats. Thank you. We're turning in just a moment to our final prayer, which is our Kaddish prayer. Rosh HaShanah is called Yom HaZikaron, our Day of Remembrance. And certainly there are a lot of us remembering loved ones today who we spend time with on Rosh Hashanah. And we think of them lovingly, and we bring them into our lives. And we hope that they can help enable hope in us for the coming year. This holiday, we are thinking of the recent deaths of Lynn Rikus and Karen Hirsch Stites and Gloria Fox. We're also remembering the yahrzeit of Morris Allweiss, of Sam Alpert, Rita Berg, Elizabeth Brown, Martha Cohn, Sam Friedman, Betty Lazar, Leanne Levinson, Sanford Rabb, Ada Roth, Mildred Roth, Clyde Searfos, and Peter Taub. Are there others we're thinking of this morning? Thanks.
Joanne Feldman.
Anyone else? On behalf of those named aloud and perhaps in only our hearts, we turn to page 223. Together we join in the Kaddish. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah v'alma tivrach hirotei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon u'yamechon uv'chayei tekol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudasham v'riku ve'ela minkol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamayim v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God grant wholeness to all who are not yet whole, and may that wholeness be found in this coming year. We say together, Amen. You may be seated. In just a moment, we're going to sing our closing song, Adon Olam. We'll do a little kiddush. We invite everyone to join us across the parking lot at All Saints Episcopal Church, where they will have a delicious lunch set up for us there. I should say we set up the lunch there, but they have the building for us. And that'll be happening. And then at about 1 or 1:15, we'll walk across back over here out in the parking lot to our property to the stream, where we'll do a little personal tashlich. We have some bread that you can throw in to the stream and cast away your sins on this Rosh HaShanah. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., we have second day services, and then 7:30 p.m., we have Erev Shabbat services, so you can get a whole lot of Jew on this beginning of 57-78. And that's going to be that. So, Adon Olam, right? That's what we're singing? Yep. So before we do that, let's quickly do a motzi so everyone's covered when you go to the luncheon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. You can take that and pass it around. Before we sing, just a very quick thank you to the beautiful Sharayanim for your music. Thank you, Debbie, for leading wherever you went. Over there, there's a podium in the way. There you are. Yay, great. Thank you. You fill our souls when they may feel low. So thank you, and we're excited to be back for Yom Kippur. Adon Olam, let's sing together. You can find that on page 75.
Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terem Bo, Yisir Nivra, Li'et Nasa,
Shimonik Rave, Achareki Loda Ko, Levadoyim Lobna Rave, Huhaya, Huhovet, Huia, Batifara, Donolam Hashem Alach, Baterim Go, Yitzirni Brachli, Hate Nasam, Samola Zana, Shimonik Rave, Achareki Loda Ko, Levadoyim Lobna Rave, Huhaya, Huhovet, Batifara, Huhaya, Huhovet, Batifara. V'en sheni, v'ham shelo, v'ham liram, v'lireshi, v'litamid, v'lo ha'oz, v'ham yisrael, v'hai go'alim, v'zur havli, v'en saram, v'nur nisi, v'manosli, v'nat gozi, v'yom ekram, Ya'adon ha'pidruhi, ve'edishan ve'a'iram, ve'ibruhi yevi'ati, Adonai li ve'lo ira. Don olam Hashem alach b'terem bo yitzirni brachli et nasa, efso kol azay melech shavoni, ve'acharei kikvot hakol, levadoyim lochna rave, huhaya v'huhovet, huhiya v'tifara. Adon olam Hashem alach b'terem bo yitzirni brachli et nasa, efso kol azay melech shavoni, ve'acharei kikvot hakol, levadoyim lochna rave, huhaya v'huhovet, v'tifara, v'huhaya v'huhovet, v'tifara, v'huhaya v'huhovet, v'tifara, v'huhaya v'huhovet, v'tifara. Yevarachach Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you in this new year. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, may you feel God's light and countenance shine upon you throughout the entire year. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lachash shalom, may you be lifted by all those who love you, and may God grant you peace in the new year. We say to that, Amen. Shana Tova, everyone. Shana Tova. Why are you just making noises?